Okay, so today we're taking a deep dive into something pretty interesting, I think.
Yeah.
It's a big shift in how one large religious organization thinks about taking care of its people, caring for its members.
Uh-huh.
We've got some excerpts from this talk
Okay.
from 2018. It's called Ministering,
Ministering.
and it was given by Russell M. Nelson,
Okay.
who was, at the time, the president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Right.
And what's really fascinating here is this wasn't just like a small change.
Right.
He actually announced they were totally moving away from these long-standing programs
Oh, wow.
that they had called home teaching and visiting teaching.
Interesting that he doesn't really define those terms in the talk, though.
Yeah.
Like, makes you wonder,
Yeah.
what were those programs like? Were they already having some problems?
Yeah, was it like...
Was this change because something wasn't working?
Exactly. It kind of makes you think, right?
Yeah.
He just jumps right in and calls for this new approach called ministering, which he describes as a newer, holier approach.
A newer, holier approach.
So what do you think you meant by that? What makes it holier? So,
Yeah, that's a good question.
yeah.
Well, he talks about,
Yeah.
constantly looking for ways to do things better to help members keep God's commandments,
Right.
especially loving God and loving your neighbor, right?
Yeah.
So it seems like maybe he felt like those previous methods, whatever they were, weren't really getting them there.
Yeah, so like a deeper, more genuine way of caring for each other.
Exactly.
Not just kind of going through the motions.
Right, right.
Yeah.
He really emphasizes that this wasn't just like a spur-of-the-moment thing either.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he talks about months of seeking,
Wow.
trying to find a better way to minister to people, both spiritually and temporally.
Oh, so like the whole person, the whole
person.
the whole need.
Yeah, meeting all their needs.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So that really emphasizes how important this change was to him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about how he sees this ministering working?
Okay, well, one thing that really jumps out is
Yeah.
how he specifically says innate gifts of the sisters
Mm-hmm.
and incomparable power of the priesthood.
Okay. Yeah.
So, in their faith, sisters refers to the women,
Right.
and priesthood is the authority that men have to act in God's name.
Got it.
So he's saying both men and women, using their strengths, their unique abilities
Yeah.
in this new way of serving.
It's interesting how he puts that, almost like this partnership or collaboration.
Absolutely.
Everybody contributes what they can.
Yeah, and he even takes it a step further.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he says this work helps protect against the cunning wiles of the adversary.
Wow. So he's
It's a whole other level.
connecting it to like spiritual warfare almost.
Right, like caring for each other. And
Right.
It isn't just about practical help, it's also a spiritual safeguard.
It's huge. Yeah. But he doesn't really like get into the nitty-gritty of how it works.
You're right. He does say others will be speaking about it.
Oh, okay.
So it seems like his goal was to lay out the vision.
Right. The big picture.
But the practical side of things,
Mm.
he's leaving that for later.
Makes sense.
Which is pretty huge when you think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Like changing how a whole global organization cares for people.
Yeah. That's a massive undertaking.
It really is.
Makes you wonder how other communities, religious or not, handle this.
Yeah.
How do they care for their members?
Yeah.
What methods do they use? What are their values behind those approaches?
That's a good question.
Yeah, something to think about,
Yeah.
how we support and connect with each other
Absolutely.
in our own communities.
I think that's a great place to leave it.
Yeah,
Lots to think about.
for sure.